What Israel did was a criminal political crime, unacceptable, because since when you are negotiating and two sides are negotiating with each other, one side would kill the negotiator on the other side. That's exactly what Netanyahu did. And this assassination will definitely have very serious repercussions, of course. And not just the assassination of Haniyeh, but also the assassination of the Hamas leader, of the Hezbollah leader. Netanyahu, in my opinion, is representing a complete new situation in Israel, where we are dealing not only with an extreme Zionist government, not only with an occupying power, not only with a structure that practices apartheid, but we are dealing with fascists. This government is a government of fascists. That includes people who don't stay away from calling themselves fascists, like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir. But also Netanyahu is a fascist. And the whole behavior of this government is a fascist behavior. In terms of the genocide, the horrible genocide they are conducting in Gaza, in terms of the acts of assassination, they are conducting one case after the other. And in terms of trying to aggravate the situation to create a regional war. And Netanyahu's intention is very clear too. He's dreaming about dragging the United States of America into a war with Iran. This has been his goal for decades. So practically this man is trying to do all of that at the same time. Of course, this will have an impact. Hamas did not stop negotiations about ceasefire because they understand very well what Netanyahu wants, which is to destroy any possibility of a ceasefire. But it is Netanyahu that is stopping them and suspending them, and also trying to undermine them continuously by adding all the time new conditions to the deal that is proposed. I would say this all would not have happened if it wasn't for the United States' total support to Israel. It is so strange that when Israel behaves as a hooligan in the region and attacks 4 countries in less than a month in the region and assassinates people, and then you have the Defense State Secretary of the United States coming out and saying that the United States will support Israel and defend Israel. Defend the criminal. Defend a country that is committing war crimes. Not one war crime, not 2, but 3 war crimes in parallel. Genocide, collective punishment, as well as ethnic cleansing. It's totally unacceptable, as well as the Western government's positions in the United Nations Security Council. Countries like France and Britain and Germany, which says they will continue to provide Netanyahu with weapons while he is slaughtering a whole people, the Palestinian people. So, in my opinion, what you see today is exactly what Netanyahu wanted, which is the creation of a military alliance with the United States, with some countries maybe in the region. And his goal is to make Israel a colonial base for anybody who wants to practice colonialism. We don't have ceasefire negotiations because Netanyahu is undermining them. And regardless if there are negotiations or no negotiations, the situation is the same. Because each time they get to a point of approving something, Netanyahu undermines it. A few months ago, Netanyahu made proposals which were delivered by the mediators, and Hamas accepted them. Then Netanyahu retreated and changed his position. When President Biden announced the new plan, claiming that it is from Netanyahu, Hamas accepted them and accepted the UN Security Council resolution. Yet Netanyahu is not accepting his own proposal. And now he's adding new conditions, knowing that each of these conditions will undermine completely the possibility of reaching a ceasefire. So Hamas did not suspend the talks. And I don't think they will suspend the talks. Even after the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. They continue because they know very well that Netanyahu is the one who doesn't want to reach an agreement. And they keep him responsible. But the reality is that because the United States of America stayed silent about his violations, about him undermining even the proposal that was claimed to be his, because of that, he can continue to maneuver and play games. And unfortunately, when you speak about fascism, it's not just the Israeli government that is fascist. You see very powerful fascist tendency across the Israeli society today. That is the most dangerous thing that we have to deal with. Well, I was there in Beijing, and actually I participated in drafting this agreement. And the agreement is very clear and it's very good, the Beijing Declaration, because it provides for unity. And the best thing that Palestinian factions can do now in response to these assassinations is to declare unity immediately. That's what we've been calling for. The Beijing announcement or declaration is different from any previous one, is that it has very specific steps to be taken. In particular, the formation of a national consensus government. And I think the Palestinian president must immediately, as is in the agreement, immediately initiate talks with different Palestinian groups about forming this national consensus government. This would guarantee the unity between West Bank and Gaza. This would undermine the Israeli efforts to create some sort of a collaborative structure or regional structure to maintain Israeli occupation of Gaza Strip. So that's the first very important point. But second, we should declare a unified leadership. That's what we also have been calling for 20 years. And the best thing to stand up to the Israeli aggression is to have a unified leadership. And it is included in the Beijing Declaration because it speaks about the interim unified leadership and about calling on all the leaders of all Palestinian factions, what we call in Arabic, اجتماع الأمناء العامين, which can be achieved. I think this is the time to declare this unity and move in the direction of this unity. And this would be the best response to Netanyahu's aggression and assassinations and his continuous criminal acts in Gaza.